Hello, BookTube. Cheers, my friends. This is the mid-year book Freakout Tag. I was tagged by Mark Richardson. Well, I was tagged by Mark over at Richardson Reads. Cheers. And I was tagged last year. So if anyone has tagged me this year and I catch it, I will try to make a note of it. But like I've said many times, if you tag me, I write it down. It may take me a while to get to it. In this case, it's taken me a year or two to get to it. So, but I try to keep my promises. And since Mark, being a fellow outdoorsman, I thought I'd give y'all a shot of my garden for whatever reason. Hang on, I'll be back. Here's my tomato patch as it is. Excuse me, I just caged these today, so they got moved around a bit. And they were caged not to prevent them from escaping, but because they flop all over the place if you don't cage them or stake them. So we got some chickens over here in the garden. Up to the coop, you little varmints. Got some hanging out down there. I mowed all this today. We have Romas in here, Oxheart, Amish paste, mortgage lifters. I can't really remember. We have several varieties. And then here's some jalapeno peppers. And that one actually has some little peppers growing on it. And then we got 2 hills of straight 8 cucumbers. That over there was a potato patch, but we got some bad seed potatoes, so we just let it go. Though we'll get some potatoes out of it, but not a whole lot. And then we threw a couple tomatoes in there too. So cool. I think those are Mountain Fresh. I believe is what those tomatoes are called. All right. That was the tour of my garden, such as it is now. We used to farm that all the way down to those poles there, which used to take a wire over. I used to keep pigs over there, but I don't anymore. So that was all garden, but when they took this pond out years ago and filled all this in, the water started leaching up and it turned into a swamp, so we're waiting for that to dry out. Then we'll have a big garden again. Anyway, that's it. Pretty cool, huh? Well, hope you enjoyed that tour. Not a real fancy garden, but hey, gets the job done when it comes to producing veggies. My camera seems messed up for some reason. Maybe it's me. Too much manual labor. Number 1, best book you've read so far in 2019. Word for World is Forest by Ursula K. Le Guin. And Broken Clocks by Danielle Ellen. And this is a romance, and I don't read a lot of romances, but this one was really good. Two, best sequel you've read so far in 2019. God, Emperor of Dune by Frank Herbert. Yeah, the used book place put a friggin' sticker right on the title, so I always enjoy that. Have mixed feelings about this book. It's a bit long and drawn out, but if you want to know what it's like to be a god on an alien planet, this might be your most insightful book yet. 3. New release you haven't read yet but want to. Don't have a clue. I just, if I see a book or catch one, I even went to Amazon and looked for new releases. Nothing caught my eye. 4. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Couldn't find one there either, and I typed in horror fiction. They give me some not so spectacular options. So, need to work on that, Amazon. Get on it, Jeff. 5. Biggest disappointment would be The Count of 11 by Ramsey Campbell. Well-known horror author. He might be an Arthur, I don't know. But I didn't care for this. And the fact that this is published and my stuff hasn't seen the light of day just pisses me off even more. Biggest surprise. Broken Clocks. Thank you, Peter. 7. Favorite new author, debut or new to you? Well, this was new to me, and it would be Edward Lorne. And this is the first book of his I've read, but certainly not the last. Fog Warning. Check it out. I gave this 4.5 stars. Newest fictional crush. Don't have one. Newest favorite character. Dr. Brent Cummings in Fog Warning, because I enjoy, especially in horror fiction, characters that are in way over their head, man. It's awesome. 10. Book that made you cry. Saddest book you've read. Broken Clocks. Wasn't a sobbing cry, but I teared up. Not ashamed to admit that. Book that made you happy. This is number 11. Mads. Snappy answers to stupid questions. And this is it's published like in the 60s, I think. It's falling apart. I'm afraid to turn the pages, but I think I had to look that up online to find that out. Favorite book to film adaptation you saw this year? The Great Gatsby. Favorite review you've done this year? I suck at reviews, so I don't have any favorites. I don't do spoilers, therefore I don't divulge a whole lot of the plot. I just give a star rating and figure, hey, it's me. Trust my judgment. That's good stuff. Most beautiful book you bought this year? Hyperion by Dan Simmons. Check out that cover. Pretty dang cool. "15. What books do you need to read by the end of the year?" I have several. I'm not going to name all of them, but let me throw these out here. Well, actually, Hyperion is one. Creation by Gore Vidal is another. Sun Chief, the autobiography of a Hopi Indian. And I read this in college. I wanted to give it a reread. and The Lost Conspiracy by Francis Harding. Those are pretty definite as far as books I'm going to read by the end of the year. So, thank you for watching. Thank you, Mark Richardson, for the tag. And hope you all enjoyed this and my tour of the garden and those chickens running around on my property. Cheers, everyone. Drink one for me. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.